What's going on, my nieces and nephews? It's me, Auntie Tatiana, your favorite Flat Earth auntie. And I'm back with my third and hopefully final part of the Worlds Beyond the Poles series. I know a lot of you guys have really been waiting for this video because you've been curious to know what this author thinks that the Earth really looks like. And it's actually pretty shocking because I didn't think that you could get any more creative with how you think the Earth looks. But then this author threw out his opinion, and I was just like, interesting. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this part of the book I found interesting, where he says stars possess density 1,000,000 times greater than anything found on Earth. So I decided to look it up and do my own little research and found out that neutron stars, no pun intended, but anyways, neutron stars are extremely high in density, even have a higher density than water. And anything that is more dense than water is going to sink to the bottom. Anything that is less dense than water will obviously float. So it's saying that neutron stars are more dense than water. Now, me putting two and two together, I'm looking at the bottom of this glass as if it is the firmament. And the neutron star, being more dense than water, is going to sink in the waters above the firmament. And like our good friend Nikola Tesla says, we are held together like the stars in the firmament. Many old depictions of the firmament show that the stars are attached to it. Firmament with the stars. And I just love this picture. The Flammarion engraving shows the firmament again, and you see the stars attached to it. But knowing that, it would make sense for the stars to attach to this part of the firmament rather than float above it in the waters above the firmament. So I thought that was a cool little observation. Okay, now on to the part that you guys have been waiting for. The author compares the movement of our realm to a flag. How can that even correlate, you're thinking? Well, I'm going to break it down for you and explain to you what he meant. So the author says the undulating movement, undulating means wave motion. The undulating movement of the earth and all other inseparable areas of the universe whole may be likened to the individual's breathing. So he's comparing the movement of the earth and the universe as a whole to the expansion and contraction of the lungs. So there are some variations that are known when it comes to the speed or intensity of individual breathing under normal conditions. And there are at other times an abnormal breathing, which may be drastically slower or faster. Let's say if you just got through running. It just depends upon the individual's condition. Also, everyone on Earth breathes at different speeds. So it's never just one way or linear. So the author says that the universe also expresses multiple variations in the speed of its daily undulating movement toward and away from the sun's course in space. So let's say the sun is on a path above this undulating flag. This flag could be moving at many different speeds, fast or slow. That means that there will be different speeds in which different parts of the flag will be heading towards the sun and away from the sun. The maximum expansion would bring Earth to a location where the sun would apparently be directly overhead. Then for the next 12 hours, there would be the Earth's breath contraction, which would return the Earth to its lowest point in space and most remote from the sun's course. So that means we're moving away from the sun, meaning it would be cooler, darker, rather than hotter and brighter when you're toward the sun. So to make it make sense, the author is saying all land areas of the universe may move with different speeds at different times, and each of them remain an inseparable part of the connected universe. So that's just basically saying, even though the universe is moving at different speeds and different times, they're all a part of the same flag. So it's all connected. So that means that Earth and all the other realms with Earth, we are all connected, even though we're all moving differently towards and away from the sun. So we already know how this author loves to do analogies. And in this part of the book, he compares an insect to a human, saying, for example, if the insect has human intellect and sight, and its habitat was at the center of the waving or undulating flag, then according to that insect, every area of the undulating flag would be considered up to the insect's observation. Now, for someone looking from the outside, they would see that every observed and unobserved area of the flag is on the same level as the area where the insect dwells. The author is saying this is the same case for Earth and all the other celestial realms. So just like the insect in the center of the waving flag cannot see that all parts of the flags are all connected, it's the same way humans can't see that all realms are connected. Up is everywhere, Up is from every angle of observation on a man's terrestrial area. And it is the same for anyone in any of the other celestial realms. The earth, which terrestrial man considers down, would be considered up to the observers in the other celestial realms. A good example of this kind of imagery would be from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I'm going to show you guys a scene that like perfectly depicts this up is down kind of scenario. So this is why the author thinks that if we journey straight ahead from our assumed terrestrial ends, which is like Antarctica, then we will continue to be moving on the same physical level with the terrestrial area of our present knowledge, meaning it would feel as if we're just moving straight, not up. In that movement on the same level, we will in fact be progressing into the celestial areas, which appear to be up, but are really just out. You just can't tell from your perspective because of this wave motion. So us as humans, we know that a flag has a beginning and an end. Therefore, we can't understand how the insect feels being in the center of this waving flag. To the insect, this flag is endless. So to make this comparison more understandable, we would have to lengthen the flag so that the beginning and the end are not observed or determined by human intelligence. Now you got to understand that when it comes to our earth realm, we are that insect. We cannot fathom or perceive the beginning and ends of this realm. This flag would then become an endless structure sweeping through infinity's darkness. So this is the part of the book where the author tries to use his idea of how the universe moves to explain time. So he's saying some points on that waving flag would reach the high point simultaneously, but never could all the points attain the high point at the same time. The same holds true for the completion of the daily undulation, which brings every area of the universe to the lowest point in space away from the sun's course. At that point, it would be midnight, but under no circumstance could it be midnight for all areas on this flag, at least not at the same time. So all movement that is heading up towards the sun would represent the daily course from midnight to noon. The second phase of the undulation, meaning the second phase of the wave motion going down, be away from the sun's high noon point down to the low midnight point. And although the time of arrival at high point and low point would vary for different areas during the undulation, the arrival at high point would always be noon for each area, and the arrival at low point would always be midnight for that area. And that demonstration shows how day and night can be experienced without the necessity to isolate the Earth or other areas in the universe. The universe can survive as a unit, and every land and sky area of the universe can continue to be connected. Yet they all can have their own movement toward and away from the sun's path. But just real quick, if you follow me on TikTok and you've watched this particular video right here, you already know I explained how seasons work on a flat Earth model. But I never shared that clip on YouTube, so I'm going to post it right here just so you can get an idea of how the seasons would work. And you can use that to compare it to what the author of Worlds Beyond the Poles says how seasons work. This is the Gleason's map, created in 1892. Might I add that this is a scientifically and practically correct map. So if you know anything about Roman numerals, then you know that this is a 1, a 2, a 3, and so forth. It ends right here at 12. Starts back over at 1 and ends again at 12. So they tell us that there's 24 hours in a day. But when you break it down, literally, it's 12 hours in a day. The first 12 hours, the last 12 hours, which this would be night. So if the sun is on this side of the world for 12 hours, these people would be experiencing daytime. And that means that these people would be experiencing nighttime. Until the sun makes its way around here for 12 hours, then they would be experiencing daytime and they would be experiencing nighttime. Pretty simple. Here's where the seasons come in. So if you look down here, you know what, I'm gonna have to zoom in. All right, look here, it says the December solstice. This right here is the center. This is the North Pole. And you see how far away the sun is. Where's my hand? Where is my hand? Okay, well, you know. You see how far away the sun is? That would mean it would be winter time over here because the sun is far away. Now, this is the June solstice, and as you can see, the sun is closer to the center, which means that this is now summertime. The sun came closer. And on the outer countries, it would now be wintertime because the sun is further away. So let's just say my finger is the sun. When my finger, or the sun, is touching all of these countries right here, they are experiencing summer. Now, when the sun starts going out here, now these outer countries are experiencing summer, and the center, the northern hemisphere, is experiencing winter. This is what the different routes are for the sun. Yellow is summer, orange is spring, fall, red is winter. This would be winter, fall, and finally, summer. So this is basically what it would look like. As you can see, everything the sun touches is day. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. So now to talk about how the author explains seasons. He says when the sun approaches a perpendicular relation above an area on the flag, perpendicular relation meaning above that area, then that would mark a season. And then as the sun continued on its course away from that perpendicular relation with that area, there would develop another seasonal change, but for that particular area. Thus, some Earth and celestial areas would be entering their summer season while numerous other areas would be entering their winter season. Some areas could be simultaneously experiencing summer, while other areas that are further away from the sun would be experiencing winter. To break that down for you, so this flag is waving. If your area on the flag is going towards the sun and right underneath it, then you would be experiencing summer. Now, when that flag undulates away from the sun, you would be experiencing winter. So that's it. I finally got through it, you guys. That's the ending of part 3. There was more in the book that I wanted to discuss with you guys, but I feel like it would be best saved for another video on a whole nother topic. And that was in regards to the moon. Author actually had a crazy opinion about the moon, but y'all ain't ready for that yet. Anyways, I'm going to end this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and comment and let me know what you guys think about all of this.